Good morning, welcome to Meat Smoke Fire, Nick here, and welcome to UK Barbecue Week. Something a little bit different today, with it being UK Barbecue Week, a week or 10 days or 9 days dedicated to lots of different types of barbecue. If you have a look at their website, ukbarbecueweek.co.uk or .com, whichever it is, you can see there is a list of cooks, and hopefully I've already shared those with you. So it's suggested that you get some burgers today. I think next Saturday's pizza and so on. Are we on top? We're on. So I could just see her looking a bit anxious. Anyway, so we're going to go with the UK Barbecue Week theme today and do burgers, but none of your standard burgers. It's very difficult to make a burger different, I guess. What people tend to do is put more cheese, more bacon, and make it taller, so you can't actually pick it up and eat it. We're just going to go completely different. So we're going to do 5 different burgers, or try and do 5 different burgers during the cook. As usual, type in your questions, ask them as we go. Helena will, and I'll turn the camera around in a minute, Helena will take those questions down and ask them at the relevant time. Hopefully we can answer those. Or of course, just get hold of me after the cook otherwise. Right, going to do my usual. So camera's here. So Andy's on camera today.
Morning.
Week 11 of lockdown cooks.
Yep.
She's been here longer than that.
Only a little bit.
Yeah, anyway. So Andy will be on the camera. We've got Helena taking down all the questions. So you can see she's not got the laptop in a box today, or the iPad, so hopefully it won't rain. We'll see what happens. And we've also got lurking in the background our mother-in-law. There she is, poking us around. Anyway, so right, here we go. So we'll go over here. We're going to use 2 eggs today. That's it. One I'm going to do, and every week we've fried on it, so why not stick with frying on it? So we're going to do some frying on that one. And then today, for the first time on these cooks, I fired up the XL, and we're going to use that to cook just about everything, just to prove you can do it. And I've got, we won't use anywhere near all the space in it. So there you go, 2 eggs for once. Everyone feeds back, well, when are you going to do a cook that only uses one? So we're pretty much there. You could do all of this on one. This just helps me. So what I haven't told you is a lot of these recipes that we're going to cook today are using recipes that you've already seen, that we've already cooked. I think if you saw the email or the Instagram, you'll have seen the first one's got onion bhajis on it. We're going to make an Indian burger. So the first thing we're going to do is make some bhajis. So I'm not going to tell you every ingredient because we've already done that in the past, but we've got some onions and some chickpea flour and so on. Just going to add a little bit water to it, give it a mix, and then we'll fry it all up. So the idea, I think when we did this before, I talked to you about this cook, is it's quite a dry mix. When I saw it being made in India, I was amazed at how dry it was and how different it was to what our bhajis look like. So it's quite a dry mix. We'll just get it all mixed together, and then we're going to make a bun using this onion bhaji. Now there's an awful lot in here. I'm not going to make thousands of buns now, but we want some for later on. So that's why I've made actually a double batch here. This is a double batch of what we normally do, but we want some for later. Okay, so just going to get that stirred in. So it's just onion, bit of chickpea flour, some coriander, some chilies in there for a bit of heat. But the recipes are up on the website already for my onion bhajis, so you can find those already. All I'm going to do differently is I normally make it in little bits. I'm just going to make them a bit bigger, but make them flatter, so they're bun shaped. Okay, right, so and if you dive into this egg, all I have in here, cast iron, it's a Dutch oven. I want it to have a flat bottom. It's just sitting direct. I've raised it up a little bit just so it's easier for you to see. And if we go in here, I want the oil about 200 degrees. Well, that's not bad. 201, I'll take that. I've done this before. So all I'm going to do for the buns is get enough that it will make a bhaji, so something like that, and put it to one side. And I put it to one side because I'm going to do 2 of them at once. So and hopefully what you'll see is it's not super deep, the oil, and the point of that is I want it to sit on the bottom and flatten a bit so that they become flatter onion bhajis, sort of burger shape. Just going to wipe my hands a little bit. Oh, and I forgot to turn on the water. Doesn't matter, I've got wipes. Yeah, if you could plug it in, that'd be great. Right, so our bhajis are in. These don't take very long, so they're only going to take 3 or 4 minutes aside. So I'll move that out the way.
While Helena's doing that,
Yeah.
I've just seen a question. Matt Cooper
Yeah.
is asking the egg temp.
So this is at about 180, just a bit more perhaps to get this. It's not like the wok where the bottom of the wok sits right by the fire. So your egg temp is much closer to the temp of your oil. So it's just under 200, 180, 200, and the oil temp's at 200, as we saw. So about 200. And it's a direct cook, obviously. The pan is directly above the fire, so no convector in there.
Just tell people about the temperature of the egg.
Yes, yeah, Andy just asked the question while you were off wandering.
No worries.
Right, so we are now, the other thing we're going to get going, while that's doing, I've got just 2 chicken skins. They're the skin off the 2 chicken breasts, and you'll see where the chicken breasts come into this later, but all I'm going to do is fry these off and get them to crisp up a bit. So, here we go. In this egg, I'll show you, sitting at 200 degrees, exactly 200 degrees. And I've got it similar sort of setup. I've got 2 cast iron half moons and I've got a cast iron pan. I'm just going to put a bit of oil in here and get these 2 chicken skins in, and you'll have to remind me to look after them because they will cook pretty quickly, and we're just going to crisp those up. They've got a little bit, they're popping and spitting, I'm going to shut it. They've got a little bit of molten salt on them just to draw that liquid out, so I just put that on a bit earlier. So those are going to take seconds, so we'll get those ready. Let me pop this pan down, plate, and we'll have a look at our bhajis and we'll come back. How much oil in this? In with the bhajis, probably 1.5 inches, not very much. So I'm going to flip them over again. They're looking nice. Squash them down, see if we can squash them a little bit. So they're not very deep, but they'll be perfect for these buns. Oh, they're looking lush. I'm going to give them another minute, and then I'll flip back to this one. Sorry, Andy, you're going to keep you on your toes today. Flip these over. They will spit a bit, so there you go. So we'll pop those down. So we're going to use the chicken skin in one of the recipes, so I'll show you that later. But what we want to do is crisp it up, let it cool down, and then I'll slice it up. And it'll just give a bit of texture to go in our burger. There's no point throwing it away. I've got in here, I've got chicken breasts. This is for the chicken tikka that we're going to do. So I just use the skin. We may as well use it. Flip these over. You want to come in and see these, Andy, just so people see the colour. We're looking for a nice brown or golden colour, so not far off, a tiny bit more. Right, so the first burger, the one you might have seen on the Instagram, is going to be a burger that has onion bhajis at the top and the bottom. It's going to have chicken tikka that we we made this a good few weeks ago when we had our curry session, so it's exactly the same. It's Parmjit's chicken tikka. Apart from, instead of chunks of chicken, I've flattened them out. I've taken chicken breast, bashed them out, and they're nice and flat. And we're just going to cook one of those. The rest of these are for our tea later. And then we're going to put those with something a little bit different. Doesn't look great now, but that's pea and paneer. So paneer is Indian cheese. You can get it in the supermarkets. And so that's just petit pois. Mixed with that, little lemon juice. The recipe will go up on my website, but we're going to turn those into a fritter, so almost like a burger. So we're going to have chicken tikka, pea and paneer, 2 bits of onion bhaji, and then we've got a bit of a dip to go with that one, so aubergine and Greek yogurt. That'd be delish. Right, Flip these. You see how nice and golden they're going. The idea is just to render out the fat and get them crisping up. Okay. Lush. Right, let's get those bhajis out because I don't need those to be super hot for later. So I don't want to overdo them. Beautiful. So let it drain. Got a bit of paper. Not very bun shaped this one, but it doesn't matter. There we go. Right, we're done with that egg. So you could have done that inside, but there you go. 2 lovely onion bhajis, and we could use the rest then to make onion bhajis for curry, but we're going to use them to make more buns a bit later on.
Smell epic.
Yeah. I'll put those over on the table. Right, any questions, Helena?
No, someone said that they didn't bag of chocolate, but quite a lot of small lumps in it, and I just said that it tasted
Yeah, so the question was about charcoal and having small lumps in it. It depends on how bashed about they get. So I try and be really careful the ones I've got. You know, when you go and pick them up, have a look at if the bag looks really bashed or whether it's been cared for. The little lumps is when it gets bashed up. The charcoal is graded when it comes from the manufacturer and it's put in the bag. So Big Green Egg choose bigger bits, not too big. You know, some of these charcoal manufacturers, you get these huge bits and you end up having to smash them. But it is graded, so when it goes into the bag, it hasn't got lots of little bits. That's all about how it's been treated. So take it back to your, or talk to your whoever supplied it if you're not happy with it. I try and treat them well. Anyway, right. So we did corn on the cob last week, I think. So we're going to do a bit of corn on the cob, and was it last week or the week before, or a few weeks ago? And then the other thing we did, I think it was last week, was albondigas, or albondigas. If Carlos is on, I should have asked him that. So I've got some. We froze them last week. I defrosted them. I put them in a little pan. I'm just going to reheat them. So we'll have some albondigas on there. Remind me later, Andy, not to grab the handle because I'm good at that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're going to put a bit of corn on there as a side, just with a little bit of oil on it, just to help it cook. And then we'll flip that every time we come back. Right, let's turn those over again. Oh, they're going to be good.
Oh.
Andy's been attacked by the bamboo. Right. So those are on. Those are going to go with another couple of dishes we've got. So let's start making some up. The one that's probably one of our household favourites, really simple recipe as well. I've made it already. I've made all of these already, and we'll start cooking this one because it'll take a little bit longer. But this is a spicy bean burger. So chickpeas, kidney beans, some jalapenos, some flour in there, some coriander, pepper. What else in there? The recipe's on the website. Easy as that. So now when it comes to burgers, you've got several options. You can pick them up and do them with your hands. Works perfectly. Or you can buy one of these things, and I'll do it on one of these just to show you. This is a burger press. It has a bottom bit. You can buy these little, I think they're waxed paper. So I'll put those down for a sec there, and I will get a lump of what will be our burger. To take a little bit more. And I'm only going to make one of these, the rest we'll make later. And what we can do is pop it into our burger press, and you put a piece of wax paper on the bottom, burger in there. It's probably a little bit big, but we'll go for it. Wax paper on the top, pop the lid on, and I'll do it on a more solid surface. Just push the top, simple as that. Take the top off, push it, and you now have a whopping and perfect burger. That is huge. Yeah. Questions coming up?
Someone said they find it hard to regulate the temperature when it's a bit windy like this.
The only time I ever struggle is if the wind is blowing directly into the vent. So you could just put a shield around the vent at the bottom. At the top, it doesn't really matter. If you look at my eggs, they're both sitting there absolutely flat on. So, one veggie burger, spicy bean burger. Obviously, we could have done it by hand, but we'll go in like that. So,
Don't touch the handle.
don't touch the handle, thank you, Andy. So, I'm going to do this in our skillet next to our chicken, which is pretty much done. So, in we go. I'm going to take these bits of chicken out. We'll be back in 1 second. The burger press came from Amazon. Where does all things? Big Green Egg do sell one. It works. It's brilliant. I just don't have one. I bought that before I got into Big Green Eggs. So we've had that, I think, 10 years, something like that. It came with all the wax papers, and we're still on the first pack. I tend to do them by hand, which you'll see as we go through. So we have one veggie burger. That was the easiest burger to make. I just blitzed it in the blender. Try and keep it quite coarse. If you have a look at it, you'll see it's got lumpy bits of chickpea in there and all sorts. Bit of texture. What you don't want is it all to be just mush and all single colour, because they won't cook very well. Right, next burger. Let's go for this one, because this one's going to take a little while. Any other questions, Helena? Because we are racing through.
Okay, so someone asked, so I'm just going back to the oh, so Rob's expander has arrived.
Yep.
Any obvious differences in temperature cooking on different levels?
Not really. The egg tends to be 20 or 30 degrees, as I always say to people, doesn't really matter. You know, if I'm trying to hit 180 and I'm at 200 or I'm at 160, I don't really care. Within 20 degrees either way, doesn't really matter. Inside your egg, it's likely to be within 20 degrees. It'll be hotter at the bottom or more direct heat, so just cycle things around as you're cooking them. Simple as that. But yeah, don't really worry about it.
Okay, so any views on the best and worst wood to get charcoal from? UK stuff is off Converge. Does that work?
Best wood for charcoal, there are all sorts out there. It's personal taste. You know, some people love the Big Green Egg stuff, some people hate it. It's all I use. I've tried other stuff, I didn't enjoy it. You know, I've said on previous cooks, you know, I've seen where the egg gets coated on ash on the inside. I've had that with some of the bigger brands out there. I don't like them. You know, if you look in the inside of the eggs here, they're all black on the inside. They're not a white colour, they're not covered in ash. So, but some people, there's a guy called Bill Gardner, who I know quite well. Bill will cook the majority of the time on alderwood. But then he will, sorry, I've got dough all over my fingers. I'll go and wash them in a minute. But yeah, personally I like the Big Green Egg stuff, but there are other people who absolutely loathe it. So there's a guy, a friend of ours, Noel Young, who runs Noel Young Wines. He will not touch Big Green Egg charcoal. Hates it. So one of those things. Right, we'll get another burger going, shall we? Or are there any other questions?
No, not really.
Keep asking. Right, so here you go. This is a prototype. So we thought we'd have a go at a Thai burger. So this is the first one. I haven't done this before. Well, I have, because I cooked a little bit up and had it about 7:20 this morning. But this is pork mince, so no beef still. No, well, other than the albondigas, they're beef. Beef and pork, but there's no beef burgers today. So this is pork mince. It's got some, and I've put in some Thai flavourings in it. So there's coriander in there, there's garlic, there's chilli, there's lemongrass, there's shallot, there's some fish sauce to give it a little bit of salty flavour. There is some salt in there as well. There's garlic, I think I said that. So this is a Thai style burger. I will write this up and take the photos of it. So we're going to do these in small patties rather than do big things. We're going to do little things, and we're going to serve it slightly differently. So let's get one of these. I'm not going to do it all. Right. So I will wash my hands after this one. This is. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these little burgers. And again, they can go straight in the cast iron. Now I mean they could go on the cast iron grid. I personally like to get a good sear all over them. So I'll do 3 of these. I may as well do 4, that's a lot then. So we'll get them in. There's a bit of fat in there from the chicken anyway. Luckily nobody in our house is a veggie, so the fact that I've got a veggie burger with the pork isn't a problem. So those will go in and we'll turn those in a few minutes. Now with those, because they're pork, we need to get them above, they're pork and they're minced, so I'm going to take them above 63 degrees C. So let me just wash my hands quickly. Any questions, Helena?
No. Someone asked about the Thai flavouring again, but I'll go back on that.
Yeah, we'll publish all the recipes. You can come in, Andy, that's fine. Yeah, we'll publish all of the recipes online. So you'll be able to see, but yeah, just typical Thai flavour. So, you know, lemongrass, chilli, garlic, you know, that's in pretty much everything. We've got some fish sauce in there for saltiness, and some coriander, very Thai. So, yeah, I'll show you those as we go.
Just put a little, someone suggested, Chef Andy Knight suggested a bit of cafe lime.
Chef Andy Knight says, bit of kaffir lime leaves. Yes, hadn't got, well, I probably have. I've got frozen ones. So we could actually just fry them up at the end and crisp them up and sprinkle them over if we wanted. So, you know, maybe, look, she's off.
on it. She's
off.
on it. She's on it. Off she goes.
Right. So that is the newest, that's the only new recipe here today. So we're going to do another burger, another flavour. It's in a bag, so let me just grab it. Ooh, I'm making a mess of it. Should have opened that beforehand. There's 2 in here. I've got wax paper on them. I'll cook them both. Now, can you remember back? God, how many weeks is that? We did chicken wings. We did my Korean chicken wings. So this is chicken with the Korean sauce mixed through it and made into a burger. So these are Korean burgers. So the chicken with some sriracha, some of the fermented chili paste, some of the fermented chili soybean paste. What else is in there? I'll need to go back to the recipe, I can't remember. So we'll get some of these on as well. So they can go up there in the back. And we'll flip these. Let's get a pair of tongs. Oh, they look lush. Let's get that veggie burger flipped. Might need a bit of oil on that. Thank you. Oh, looking good. I'm going to put a bit of oil on that. These can be a little bit dry, but they are delicious. I cooked the veggie burgers for Helena and Andy and in the past. Oh, let me turn my horn. Could bring this all forward, couldn't I, a little bit. I cooked them in the past and they got voted better. The spicy bean burgers got voted better than beef burgers. How's that?
Yeah.
I needed about 2, Helena, but anyway, I'm going to wash my hands because I've been touching that pork. Right. So how many burgers is that we've got on the go? Quite a few.
Yeah.
That's spot on time, all right?
Okay, so someone said they haven't done any smoking on their egg yet. What's a good middle of the road wood to start with?
Good middle of the road wood to start smoking with. Apple is good, pretty good all rounder. Or I quite like sweet chestnut. There's a company called Grilling Wood. If you go on Amazon, I'll put a link on my page, but if you go on Amazon, they're a Hertfordshire company, and you can buy boxes of their wood chips and little buckets of their, box their wood chunks and follow me round, Andy. I'm gonna Grilling Wood. I'll put a link up so that it says. Can't see it. Oh, there it is. The chips come in a box like that. The chunks come in a big box. So these are cherry, but I do like their sweet chestnut. So, but I'll put a link up, and if you can click on the link, I get a tiny little fraction of the pence for every time. So if you can use that, that'd be great.
So someone said, why are you cooking in a pan rather than directly on the grill rack?
I like to get my, so the question, if you didn't hear it, was why am I cooking in a pan and not directly on the grill rack? I like to get to cook the whole surface of my burgers as opposed to get those crisscross marks. So I do it in a pan. If I like the crisscross marks, I could just do it on the normal grill. Simple as that. So let's have a look at what we got. So those are those two Korean chicken. These are our little pork ones that we're going to serve slightly differently. This is our veggie burger. So, and our albondigas just warming through. You can see some steam coming up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 burger to go. So,
Don't touch that handle.
I won't touch the handle. Thank you, Andy. I'm going to dive in here. I'll do it, man. I have marinating. They're all going to be mixed up. Flattened out chicken. I'm going to scrape some off. I don't want it all on there. But they've been marinating overnight. But flattened out chicken breasts. So these I am going to do on the grill. So we'll get that on, get some stripes on. I'll leave that open for a sec while I wash my hands again, Andy. Right. Any questions, Helena?
No, someone said you should put in a pan and then flame up, and I said no.
No, the egg will, so somebody asked, did I put them in a pan to prevent the flame ups? No, the egg will prevent the flame ups. Only when you've got the lid open are you out of control. So cook with your lid shut. If you leave it open, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and that's when you get the flame ups. If you've got really fatty foods, keep the lid shut. You're not going to get on, it's not going to be on fire. You're in control of it. Simple as that. Right, I'm going to put these out the way because we're going to have those a bit later. There's another 3 or 4 in there. So now we need to start thinking about plating up. So I have, I'm going to just take some of these. I'll just do, I think I'll just, how many of the Thai have I got? Of the Mexican, the albondiga. So that'll do. I'm just going to take, I've got a tortilla. I've cut some little rings out, 8 centimeters. I'm just going to grill these off quickly. So we'll pop these in. And just sit there and grill for a couple of seconds. Okay, that's looking marvelous. Give it a roll. They're looking good. Let's give them a quick probe because I need to make sure the middle of those is above 63, which it is. So those are, that one's not quite, that one is. So a little bit longer on those. Let's have a look at our veggie burger. That's looking good. Our Korean chicken burgers. Those are going to be nice and spicy with that lovely Korean flavour in them. So now what we need to do is get a roll. So, you want to come over, Andy? You'll recognise the brioche buns. We cooked those 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'm going to get those in there, and I'm just going to toast them off. I need 2, I think. So we'll get those, and we'll pop them in the egg as well. Give them a quick toast. Don't touch the handle. Need a bit more space. Oh, they're going fast. They're ready. Let's get those over there. I'll take those off in a sec. So we'll get one there. Let's get those off. One there. We'll get that in there. There's one around the back. It's all looking good. Let's get this piece of chicken. Try not to touch the buns with it. Right. Pull that shut for a sec. We're nearly there. Right. So I've got my tortilla. What we're going to do,
What grilling surface you've got in the extra large?
in the XL I've just got a cast iron searing grid. So I'm going to plate some of these up on here just to so I don't make a mess everywhere, and then we'll plank them all up so you can see them all. So
You've got the expander in the XL, haven't you?
sorry?
You've got the expander in the XL?
Yes. Yes, it's got the expander, it's sitting on that. So we're going to go for albondigas first. So into this, another recipe that we did a few weeks ago, my toasted corn salsa. So we've done that. We'll take a little bit of that, get it in there. In fact, I might do, yeah, we'll get that there. We are going to go and grab our albondigas. I'll put my gloves on.
Okay, is the hinge mechanism different on the XL rather than the large?
Slightly different, but not a lot. This is mine's a really old one. Cook far too many of these, but you could break them up. So I'm going to get 3 in here. Oh, it's going to be tough squeeze. Bit of that. We're going to put some avocado on the top. Oops. Get that in there. One more bit. So I've just sliced up some avo. We're going to get some sour cream in there. Get a lid on it. And can you get me a fish slice from the kitchen, please? Sorry.
Rude.
Because it will just make lifting it easier. And that is burger number 1 done. Just going to wipe my hands. Andy, we need to look at these burgers. So let's flip these. Oh, nice and toasty. Probably enough, to be honest. Give them. Oh, that was a bit toastier. Whew. Right. So burger number 2. This one's ready for me. I'm going to get in there and take my bean burger. Okay. We'll get some lettuce for that in a second. Let's get these off while I think about it. So burger number 2, our spicy veggie bean burger. So that can go down the end. Grab a tiny bit of lettuce, so a little bit of jam. Let's go in there. There we go. Burger 1, burger 2. Get this off. Whoop, meatball came out. These are going to be messy burgers.
Everyone's asking how you're going to use them. I said we have to use a knife and fork.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're not burgers to pick up. These are posh burgers that you're going to get in there with your posh cutlery. So this one you could, but the rest of it are going to be super messy. Right, next one, let's get this chicken skin cut. Can you hear that? Lovely and crispy already. Right, so to this one, I need a bun. You come in, Andy. I am doing this right, aren't I? Yes. I need my Korean patties. Let's get that in there. I'm going to put both in. Why not? Okay. These are, give them a little flip. Looking good. Put them on the edge for a sec. Okay. So, 2 Korean patties. Sorry, Andy, I'm going to keep moving. I'll plate it up on here just so I don't make an absolute mess. We're going to get some crispy chicken skin in there. We are going to get some. You can get this in most supermarkets now. It's sriracha mixed with mayonnaise, which is sriracha is like a chili sauce. So we're going to get some of that in there. We'll put the other patty on top. After all that me saying, you know, we're not going to go bigger is better. But then how about some kimchi? So kimchi is fermented cabbage. It is delicious, absolutely delicious. And then where's I left the top? Left it over there. It's not, put it upside down. We'll flip it over. There is burger number 3. That is a Korean chicken burger. I've caught the bun slightly, but it will still taste delicious. Right. Burger number 4. Let's get some of these. Here you go. Kaffir lime leaves. For Chef Andy, was it?
Yep.
I'm just going to give them a very quick crackle in the oil. Crisp them up. Flip them over. Oh, the smell of those is delish. Right. We go and grab a plate. So the kimchi, the kimchi I got from my local Korean supermarket. So, burger bun. Okay, it's lettuce, but that's what we're going to use for the burger bun this time. So, we're going to get those little burger patties out. We'll get some of that crispy lime over the top. Look at that. I could shred it if I wanted. We'll leave it as whole for now. Looks quite pretty. Corn is looking great. I'm going to put that in there. Flip my chicken over. It's going to be the last thing to cook. So with this, I am going to do that. Whoa! Oh! You didn't see that. Landed on my foot. Little bits of the wind. Little bit of coriander going in there. Very traditional Thai. Get that out of the way. We have a little bit of. So I had to wrap everything because it's all been. So, sweet chili sauce. That's looking delish. And the top of our burger. I'm going to get my, where is it there? How's that one look? Let's get some of these out of the way. I'll get you to come around this side in a bit, Andy, when we've finished putting them up. Right, so last one is our I forgot to do my pea and paneer. Right, good job they don't take long to cook. Forgotten to cook my pea and paneer. So, get a dollop of one of these into the frying pan. And that's going to take a couple of minutes aside. So let's just see. I'm going to put this in there as well, just to give it a fry. That'll speed it up a little bit. Somebody's nicking, camera lady's nicking the onion bhaji as she stands there.
I'm really sorry, it was right there. So nice.
I've got another clean pair of tongs. Let's grab those. Sorry? Oh, hi Vilas. We've got Vilas from Tower. So Tower is an ex-colleague of mine. Vilas set up an Indian style restaurant near the station in Cambridge. I've not been yet, so apologies for that. But yeah, Vilas is on, so we'll be seeing her tomorrow. She's popping over to have a look at a big green egg to see if it can be used in an Indian kitchen. So, which it will be. Look, we're cooking Indian sort of today. So yeah, hi Vilas. Any other questions, Helen?
No, Annie's asked about could she and her dad do churros?
Oh, so Annie, my niece, is on. Hi Annie. Can they do churros? Yeah, absolutely. Get a pan. Any pan that you can put inside your egg that doesn't have a plastic or silicone handle, put it in there, bit of oil, and you could put churros in there. Pipe them in, drop them in. We did churros last week. So churros are Spanish donuts. So we did some of those last week, and they were delish. They all got finished. Right, let's flip this. How's that? That looks lush. I'll flip the chicken again. That's looking amazing. I'm going to check its temperature. So chicken needs to be 74. We are above 74, so I'm happy with that. We give that 3 minutes on the pea and paneer, a little bit longer. We can put our corn out. Our corn is to go with our albondigas, which is there. So how about that? Just wipe this down a little bit, and I'll go and wash my hands. And then we will have a burger platter.
And we've got the carrot salad.
Oh, absolutely. We have to go over here. We have a little carrot, chili, almond salad. So flaked almonds in there. That's going to go with our onion bhaji burger, and some red pepper in there to go on it when we get there. Right, I think we are probably good to go.
Someone's asked for a local supplier for grape spices and rubs. I recommended Spice Punch. Can you give them a shout out?
Spices and rubs, yes, Spice Punch. So somebody's asked any local suppliers of spices and rubs. We've got a great local supplier in, I'm going to cut this chicken in half, make it, because it's huge. In St Neots, just down the road from us. So David and Catherine, they make rubs, Spice Punch. Otherwise, the people I like to use, Angus and Oink up in Scotland. They do they're excellent rubs there as well. So chicken tikka going on top of the bhaji. This pea paneer could do with a little bit more, but oh no, it's nice.
Nick,
Nice and
quick
fluffy.
question.
Yeah,
Someone's
quick
asked
question.
They can't decide when to put the plate setter in. Should they put it in before the top dome is warmed, when first closing the lid, or when the big egg reaches?
No, always warm your egg up to 180 degrees before you put any surfaces in there, is my technique. Always bring it up to temperature. You need the dome to be warm, so then you can put your convector in, and it'll be a lot easier to control. It will warm up better. So do that. Right, let's get this pea and paneer fritter out. That can sit on the top. I'll put that bit of chicken over here for us in a minute. Oh. Wind is blowing here. Right, let's get this over to the table. I'll be there in 1 second, Andy. We have, to go with this, we have aubergine pickle mixed with some Greek style yogurt. So we'll get that on the top. Lovely and thick and dollopy. Whoop. How's that looking? I will get our last onion bhaji on the top. Now that is what I call a burger.
I'll come round
Go
that side.
right in the centre there. We've got some salad. Oh, I have forgotten to put in. We'll put some. Hang on 1 sec, Andy. We're going to put a little bit of red pepper in there. Oops, thrown it everywhere. And I'm going to tempt fate here.
Uh-oh. You can hold it, pick it up.
Pick the whole lot up.
Oh man, let me move round. I'm caught by the...
Yeah, and then we're going to take photos of these before we even bump into it. So I'll sit down with it. How's that? That is 5 burgers cooked in 45 minutes on the nose, just under. So we've got albondigas, so a Mexican Spanish mix with some sour cream, some toasted salsa, and a bit of corn on the side. We have got my Korean burger, so chicken with Korean spices, with some kimchi in a semi brioche roll. So off my site, we'll come to the other end. We've got our spicy bean burger.
Bugsy, have that.
Spicy bean burger, chickpeas, kidney beans, jalapenos, and so on. We've got a Thai style, is it a burger? Oh, I think it's a burger. Thai style meatballs with sweet chili sauce, and then my absolute favourite in the middle here.
Yeah.
This is our Indian, so a chicken tikka, marinated chicken breast with a onion bhaji as a bun, a pea with a pea and mint and paneer, pea mint and paneer patty with some aubergine pickle. I think that is a triumph for Big Green Egg, triumph for UK Barbecue Week. What do we think? Any comments?
Well done. Looking fantastic.
Mm.
Looking
Yeah.
good.
So I'm going to put it down before I drop the lot. And then we're going to get some photos of those afterwards. So I'll get lovely photos of it when we've tidied up a little bit. And then we'll get to eat.
When we've eaten them,
Yeah.
take photos.
So any questions, Helena?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, perfect. Well, hopefully that's bang on our 45 minutes that we aim for. Next week, well, all through the week is UK Barbecue Week, so look it up and join in. Post your pictures, get the big green egg in the background. We want to show it off a little bit. It tends to be a lot of people cooking on non-big green egg barbecue, so let's show off what we cook on. So take pictures, get them up. Just tag them with hashtag UK Barbecue Week, and let's see what you're all doing. It'd be great to see your interpretations on burgers. So there's theme all the way through. I think Tuesday's Taco Tuesday, Friday is Fish Friday, there's a Sunday roast, there's a Chef's Choice Day, and there's something else. But next Saturday is pizzas, and I know we've already done pizzas, but we'd already done burgers, but not like that. So hopefully you'll join in, and we'll do some weird pizzas. I'm not sure quite how we're going to do that, but we'll give it a go. But yeah, thank you for watching. As ever, you can contact me, Nick, NIC, at meatsmokefire.co.uk. Subscribe on the YouTube channel, all of that stuff. Feel free to ask questions. If you want anything Big Green Egg or accessories, just give me a shout and I can quote you. That's how we're going through lockdown. That's how we're, thank you for buying stuff. That's helping us. And it looks like Helena's got one question.
Yeah, tips on cleaning cast iron pans.
Tips on cleaning cast iron pans. Yeah, have an
camera
Andrea.
girl.
Yeah, have a camera girl. No, get them nice and hot. There's a video on my YouTube channel that tells you exactly how to do it, but get them nice and hot.
Cleaning, not searing.
I know, cleaning. You will see all over my garden there's scrunched up bits of foil. Get that in your pan, scrub it around. It will take all the old food off if you burn it off, and then just get some oil in there, wipe it around, and that will re-season your cast iron pan and make it super clean. So yeah, tin foil. There's always bits under these tables. There's always bits. There's about 4 or 5 I can see over there. So I think that is it. So thank you very much for watching again. We will see you next Saturday, and I look forward to seeing all your posts during the week. Cheers. End.
Ah,
Done.
let me see if we can.
End.